Can I have your attention? I'd like to get started, if you don't mind. So welcome to the second precinct community meeting for February. I'm Inspector Kevin Williams, the commanding officer of the precinct. Before I get started, to those who've never been here, thank you for coming tonight. And for those, my regulars, thank you for coming again. We lost a beloved member of the second precinct community. Dick Holmes was a long-time community member and active in the Green Lawn Civic Association. I think he was the president for many years. If you were a regular attendee of these meetings, Dick was always here. Recently, he fell on some ill health, and unfortunately, we lost him over the weekend. So I thought it was appropriate to mention Dick because he was so involved with the community, and he so loved the second precinct and everybody that knows him. So just take a minute of silence, please, for Dick. Thank you. Thank you very much. I normally like to bring up the officers in the beginning of the program, so those of you who haven't been here can get familiar with some of my officers. They're going to come up, introduce themselves, tell you where they work and how long they've been around, and this way you get a little familiar with them. So start with the captain.
Hey folks, Kevin McCann, Captain of the 2nd Precinct. I'm in my 48th year police service, 45 years here in Suffolk County.
I'm Jim Messina. I'm a sergeant in the 2nd Precinct. I work in the Community Support Unit. I have about 27 years on in Huntington, so I have an intimate knowledge of Huntington, and I enjoy working in this town.
My name is Police Officer Jamie Westenhoff, and I'm in Cope, and I'm in my 13th year.
I'm Brittany Castiglione. I work the 214 car in Huntington Station in Melville. I've been in Suffolk for 2 years. I was in the city for 6.5. So I'm coming into my 9th year, and I love working.
I'm Officer Justino. Just graduated the academy in April.
Good. Okay, thanks. Thank you. We have 2 county legislators here today. Rebecca Sannon, she's newly elected. Stephanie Bontempi, thank you. A rep from Tom Donnelly's office, Karen.
Yep.
Where are you, Karen? Thank you. And a rep from Congressman LaLota's office. Do I get that right? Did I miss anybody? Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. Okay. All right, so we'll get started. These are our index crimes year to date. So for murder, we didn't have any so far. That's good. Last year we had 1. This year we had 2 robberies as opposed to last year we had 1 at this time. 7 assaults this year, 6 last year, slightly up. Residential burglaries this year, just 1 so far. We had 7 last year in 2023. Commercial burglaries, just 1 so far this year, 5 last year at this time. Larcenies, we had 83 larcenies in January, and last year in year to date we had 147. And then vehicle thefts, we had 6 in 24 this year, up to date this year, and 14 year to date last year. This is the index crimes monthly. In December, actually murder we were even, nothing. Robbery, we had 2 in December, 2 in January, so even again. 5 assaults in December, we had 7 in January. 4 residential burglaries in December, just 1 in January. 1 commercial burglary in December, just 1 in January. Larcenies, we had 140 in December, 98 in January, and vehicle thefts 4 in December and 6 in January, so a slight increase there. Okay, this is a robbery. During a domestic dispute, the female victim was pushed to the ground and punched by a male suspect who she had an order of protection against. The male stole her cell phone broke the windshield of a car, and fled the scene. We have a nice update here on the 9th of January at about 3:15 p.m. The second squad detectives located the offender and charged him with robbery, criminal contempt first, which is violating order of protection, and criminal mischief third. The suspect had 13 prior arrests. Another robbery. This was at Saks Fifth Avenue at the mall. So just so you know, I've explained this in the past. A lot of times these people go in and try to commit a larceny, and then when they're confronted by security or whatnot, they fight and they use physical force, and that will turn it into a robbery. So this is what happened on this occasion. Store security officers attempted to stop 2 female suspects stealing 7 pairs of purple jeans, whatever they are. Both females resisted. One of the females bit both of the security guards. Yeah, sometimes it gets a little ugly. And they fled in a U-Haul van. You've probably seen this on the news, that the newest crime trend is they're renting these U-Haul vans and they're using them to commit these crimes. And a lot of times they'll use fraudulent information to rent the van. So to try and track them down, it makes it even that more difficult. The van had Arizona registration plates. The value of the stolen property was $940. So those are expensive jeans. Burglary. This was a residential burglary on Friday. Between Friday, January 12th, and Sunday, January 14th, on Woodhull Road in Huntington. The complainant returned home from being away for the weekend and discovered unknown suspects had entered her residence through an unlocked kitchen window and stole the following items: $30,000 cash and 3 Louis Vuitton jackets. That's a lot of money. Unlocked kitchen window, again.
Do you think it was known?
I would say probably.
Yeah.
You know, the detectives are working on this case, obviously. So that'll be an active investigation. But again, unlocked, make it easy for them. Try and lock everything if you can. Secure your residences. That's my best advice right now. I mean, obviously alarm systems, all that, but it makes it so easy. If they find a door or window that's unlocked, they slide right in. Another burglary. This was a commercial burglary at a gas station on Thursday at 5:15 in the morning, the 25th of January, at 341 West Jericho in Huntington. The unknown suspects broke the front door to the gas station and stole $600 in cash and several rolls of scratch-off lottery tickets. Yeah, this is a pattern that's been going on throughout the county. There's a crew working throughout all of Suffolk County, and the common denominator is the lottery tickets. So
Can they be tracked from the tickets?
they're working on. There's evidence in the investigation that hopefully will pan out to something. All these crimes and all these investigations, just so you know, it takes time to put a lot of this stuff together. So as much as we'd like to have instant gratification like you see on TV, it's not really the way it works. There's a lot of evidence collection and data and video and you name it to put these cases together to make a quality arrest, because we don't just want to arrest them, we want to make sure they're prosecuted properly. So there's a lot to it.
Which gas station was it?
I think it was the Gulf. It wasn't listed as it was listed as under an LLC or something.
Corner of Groundswell?
That one?
341.
It might have been Oakwood. I think it might have been one on Oakwood. This is an assault. Okay, so this was in December. All right, I spoke about this at the last meeting, and it's on here because we had an update. We made an arrest on this.
Excellent.
Yes. Okay. So you can see what happened. The complainant was inside the Princess Bar, which is Pulaski and New York Avenue, and he became involved in a verbal argument with a guy. They went outside to settle their differences, whatever it was, and then a bunch of other guys jumped in on this guy. So the guy who was getting beat up friend went to help him, and he was also seriously assaulted. Both of them were very seriously assaulted in this. So after a lengthy investigation, like I'm talking about, they were able to put this thing together. And on the 11th of January, an arrest was made by the 2nd Precinct anti-crime officers. And I can't say enough about our anti-crime officers / gang. They're out there, and they are knocking it out of the park. They're really doing a fabulous job. You're going to see some more slides where you'll see that they're really getting results out there. So I'm very happy and proud of them. Gang assault arrest. This is an incident that they discovered this male in the 3rd Precinct on the Pilgrim State Hospital grounds. It was called in, as you see up there, responded to a call of an unconscious male lying on the side of the road, bleeding from the head. The victim was transported to Southside Hospital with a fractured skull. So the end of this incident wound up being in the 3rd Precinct, but the beginning of it started in Huntington Station. This young gentleman was lured into a vehicle and driven, I guess, to this location and assaulted by several suspects. There was an investigation where it was the 3rd Precinct and our precinct detectives and our gang officers and their gang officers. They worked in conjunction. They were able to put this together. We wound up arresting 6 suspects, and they were charged with the following charges right there: gang assault first, robbery first and second, kidnapping second, and again, it was a joint operation that included the 3rd Precinct detectives, 3rd Precinct anti-crime officers, 2nd Precinct detectives, and 2nd Precinct anti-crime officers. I was told by the 3rd Precinct inspector that if it wasn't for our gang officers, they probably wouldn't have been able to identify as many of these culprits as were involved in this, because that's how good our gang officers are. They have a lot of intelligence, and they gather intelligence every day on these people.
And
So
were
this is a
the
fabulous
suspects
job.
that were arrested from Huntington?
You know what? I don't know that. I don't know if they were, probably some here. Some could be Brentwood also. So obviously,
Victim.
he's going to be okay. He regained. He's conscious again. I want to say he's maybe 16. He was young. Yeah, he's young. Okay, another great arrest. This was a reckless endangerment that happened in August, of last year, about 4:40 a.m. This gentleman knows because it's his block, at 35 East A Street. So this happened late at night. The complainant in this case, he was walking down the street to confront this other gentleman who had beat up a friend of his. Somehow the person he was going to confront got wind of him, that he was on the way. He popped out of his residence and started letting shots go at this gentleman. So I think it were, how many shots we got? There was several gunshots. I know nobody was hit, nobody was injured. That's why it was 7 shots. Some of the cars on the block with damage from the gunshots, but luckily nobody was hurt, and hence the charge is reckless endangerment, not an assault. So anyway, this was during that the investigation where they were looking for these other 6 suspects. They were able to actually locate this guy the next day while they were searching for the 6 involved in the prior assault. So they picked him up on the 15th of January. They picked him up. Our 2nd Precinct crime section officers, gang guys, arrested the suspect in front of 63 East 14th Street in Huntington Station.
What's IFO?
He in front of.
Oh,
So that's where they located him. He was charged with reckless endangerment first and criminal possession of a weapon, 2nd degree. Nice gun arrest by one of our patrol officers. On Saturday the 6th, about 2:50 a.m., 2nd Precinct Patrol Officer conducted a traffic stop of a vehicle, resulting in the arrest of the driver and the discovery of a loaded high-point semi-automatic handgun in the vehicle. The gun was reported stolen from Ohio, and the operator was charged with criminal possession of a weapon 2nd and 3rd, and criminal possession of stolen property 4th degree. That's a picture of the gun. Okay, moving on. Compliance checks. We do a lot of these based on community complaints that we get. Vape shops, massage parlors, what have you. So we did, on 2 days, we did compliance checks on Tuesday the 16th and Wednesday the 17th in the town of Huntington. Our second precinct crime officers conducted compliance checks throughout the town of Huntington. They did a total of 24 checks, and 19 stores were in compliance, but the following stores were in violation of the law. They're listed there: Venom Smoke Shop in Comac, Gotham Smoke Shop in Huntington Station, Nirvana in Green Lawn, and Rowley's 4 in Huntington Station, and the Huntington Village Vape Shop down in the village on Elm Street. 2 people were arrested and charged with unlawful sale of cannabis, and 3 people were charged with unlawfully dealing with a child, 2nd degree. That's for selling vapes to underage children. We did a massage parlor investigation on the 23rd of January, about 3:30 p.m. The Huntington Spa, 1973 New York Avenue, Huntington Station. Again, in response to community complaints about this place, crime section officers did the investigation in conjunction with the Town of Huntington Public Safety and the fire marshal, and it resulted in the arrest of a female for unauthorized practice of a profession and 2 counts of prostitution. Another massage parlor, again, more complaints from the community. Wednesday the 31st, 7 p.m., Island Royal Spa, 1740 East Jericho Turnpike in Huntington. In response to community complaints, 2nd Precinct Crime Section officers, again with the Town of Huntington Fire Marshal and the Building Department, they conducted an investigation resulting in the arrest of 2 females for the following charges. Same charges: unlawful practice of a profession, which is a felony, and prostitution, a misdemeanor. Sex trafficking arrest. I know you're happy about this. On Wednesday the 25th, about 11 p.m., the location was the Roadway Inn, 270 West Jericho Turnpike, Huntington Station. Our anti-crime officers had arrested somebody for controlled substance, drug charge, minor drug charge, and during interviewing her, she gave up information that led to the arrest of this male suspect. So they called up the Human Trafficking Investigation Unit, and in conjunction with our plainclothes officers, were able to locate the person who was responsible for trafficking this woman in that hotel, and he was arrested. He was charged with sex trafficking and criminal possession of a controlled substance.
Is that
Third.
a felony?
That is a felony, yes.
Good. And that was SCPD, sex trafficking unit.
Yes, that is correct. Fatal accidents. We didn't have, yes, that's a good month. When we don't have any fatal accidents, that's good. I like to credit my officers because they're out there doing a lot of traffic. I know I get a lot of complaints about traffic, but again, the captain had the numbers. I talked about them last month. We were substantially up in our summonses issued last year, so it's a credit to the officers that are out there every day doing their car stops and trying to slow people down. But that's a good stat right there, 0. Here's our arrests in January, and I broke it down for you. So 32 felony arrests in January, 76 misdemeanors, 11 assault arrests, and I'm going to go through the gang-related. I broke it down a little more at the request of June. So 9 gang members total arrested. 1 was a blood gang, and there were 5 charges on that individual. 1 was a gun charge. We had 1 arrest of a blood 9 tray, 4 charges, and 1 of those charges was robbery. 1 OSS gang member, that's Old Station Soldiers, right? You know that, okay? 1 charge for that gentleman, 5 charges, and a felony assault was included in that. And then another OSS, Old Station Soldier guy, charged with gambling. Usually that's dice, they're playing dice. and then one Southside, I believe it's Southside Posse. One charge was a warrant, and then 4 MS-13 gang members were arrested with a total of 12 charges on all of those individuals. Felony assault, kidnapping, and robbery, and believe it or not, DWI.
So that, the MS-13, that was related
To that
the
assault, yes,
Pilgrim
yes,
State.
yes.
And where is
Dr-
Blood 9 Trey? You know where that one's out of?
Well, we have members in the station, but I'm not, there's so many cliques. I'm not as, you'd have to talk to one of the gang officers.
Okay.
And as I was telling June before I started, if you want to attend the next meeting, I'm going to attempt to get one of our gang officers to do a presentation for those of you who are interested in hearing about gangs. Okay, so just to put your mind at ease, I mean, we've got a great gang team that works at headquarters, and they're all over this stuff. But if you watch their presentation, they're really up to date on everything, and it's very interesting. I would recommend to come.
Yeah,
Evening?
yeah, instead of the.
Does everybody want the evening? You'd rather do it here?
Yeah, you got more diversity.
Okay. If that detective who is available, I'll see if I can arrange it with him. All right, because I can assure you he's available during the day, but it might be a sell to get him after hours. I'll try. Usually they'll do it. Yeah, you bring him coffee. Okay. We had 13 drug-related arrests and 5 DWI arrests in January. Moving on. Domestic incidents. We responded to 138 domestic incidents in January, and out of those, we made 13 arrests. And there are probably some that are still being investigated. Sometimes the guy flees and it takes time to put the investigation together. Overdoses, we had 4 non-fatal overdoses for January. That's pretty low. That's good. The site team. These are our highway patrol officers. They go from precinct to precinct, and they hit like hotspot complaint spots for speeding, mostly moving violations. They do a lot of work in front of schools, in the school zones. So they were in the precinct on January 4th and January 18th. They conducted enforcement at the following locations. You can see them up there: Oakwood, 25A, Vanderbilt Parkway, Whispering Court, Carl Strait Path, New York Avenue. They wrote a total summonses, 104 summonses in those 2 days, and 79 were for moving violations. So they're a great help to us. I always like to give them the kudos because, I mean, we have our own officers out there, but to have them on top, it really helps with traffic enforcement, and that's a big part of what we do. ShotSpotter. For those of you who don't know what ShotSpotter is, this is like a warning system. There's sensors throughout a certain area of Huntington, and they can pick up the sound of gunshots and then pinpoint the location. It's a tool to help us try and locate where possible gunshots are heard. And luckily, just one activation in January. It's been pretty quiet with that, which is a good thing. But this was on Monday the 22nd at about 7:30 p.m. on the East A Street. Did you hear anything? Well, anyway, the officers checked, and it was a negative result, so they didn't find anything. The new system that we have is very much more accurate than the one in the past. So if they didn't find anything, it could have been backfire. There's a lot of different sounds that are similar. So anyway, we didn't have any. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Is that primarily Huntington Station?
It is. There's an area of Huntington Station, yes.
I have
Yes.
a question. Is that hooked up right now?
Oh, yeah. Well, I heard something tonight? Oh, okay. Well, you know what? I left work at 5 today, so I don't know if something happened tonight. I'll find out in the next, okay.
Inspector, what's the approximate range you got?
Well, it's like triangulated, so I don't, they put the sensors out. I don't know the exact, like square footage, but I know it pinpoints it to, like 8-10 feet of where the supposed, firearm discharge went off, but I don't know the sensors are set in like a circle kind of thing, or whatever the shape is, and wherever it reverberates, it picks it up and it triangulates the signal. So it's, yes.
Can we do it?
No cameras. It's just like a noise sensor, like a microphone. Okay. Again, every month we just try to remind you, car thefts are up a little. Most of the time when I read the reports, the keys are in the car. Not always, but I'd say 80 to 90% of the time, somebody leaves the key fob in the car. So please secure all your stuff. Go over it every month, and it's just worth repeating. So it helps. Set your video cameras for us. Again, gift cards. Someone calls you on the phone and says your bill is late or whatever it may be. This is how they scam you. They tell you, go buy gift cards. We'll take gift cards for payments. Nobody does that. Not PSE&G, not, National Grid, whatever it is. They call up and they get people and they kind of convince them, oh, you just go down and buy gift cards and rub them on. I mean, when you hear that, it's a scam. So just hang up the phone. I heard about this new scam, church scam. I like to throw these out wherever I hear new ones, just so I'd hate to see this. I mean, it breaks my heart when people get scammed out of a substantial amount of money. But anyway, this is a new one. A priest calls up saying they're reaching out for donations, and the key word, gift cards. They want gift cards. You can make a donation in the form of gift cards. Nobody does. They don't do that. So if someone calls you, again, gift cards, it's a scam. All right? Just trying to give you some information. David? I didn't see you over there. What else? Is that it? Okay, winter food drive. The 2nd Precinct Explorers will be collecting non-perishables at the Stop and Shop located at 3126 Jericho Turnpike, East Northport, from 5 to 7 p.m. on February 8th. Is that Thursday? Thursday. So if you would like to donate, come on down. Get meet some of the police explorers. It's a nice community event. And then we got guac with a cop. So you heard of coffee with a cop. Jamie, I think, put this together, right, Jamie? So guac with a cop. If you want to guac with us, come on down on Wednesday the 21st, 10:30 in the morning.
And it's for children.
And okay, yes, I'm sorry, Jamie. Just children, just kids. What are we doing? Okay, mostly just for children. Okay, so they draw and they eating guacamole. Kids. Oh, they're making it. Okay. All right. I like guacamole, but I'm not sure. Kids. It's yeah. What is it? Avocado toast or something? Anyway, come on down. If you have kids that want to do it, $5 a kid. And let's see, Project Prom. Okay. This is they collect, I guess, old suits and dresses from people who in past proms, and they make a nice big collection. So people less fortunate who can't maybe afford to buy a brand new dress can go through some of these and find something that they can go to the prom with. So this is in conjunction with Stephanie. Is this in conjunction with you guys? Oh, the councilwoman. Yeah. All right. So yes. On April 4th, 4 to 8 p.m. at the John J. Flanagan Center. That's down on Park Avenue in Huntington. You can drop off the donations and of the dresses and everything at John J. Flanagan Center. Use the red awning entrance. I'm not sure what that is, but it must be a big red awning. Between 9 and 5 until March 28th. So I guess you could go down right up now until March 28th. And it's being co-sponsored by Ed Smith and Teresa Mari in conjunction with us. You involved with that? Yeah. Okay. Can they drop off stuff now? Yeah. They're collecting now? Yeah. Okay. All right. She's got a question.
Yeah. Do they need to be on hanger and like hung? Okay.
I'll take care of it. Thank you. What else we got? Okay, this is the car seat. Sometimes people have older car seats that they like to hand down from generation to generation, but that's a no-no, okay? Because a lot of the older ones aren't up to the code or the traffic safety thing. So you can have yours checked out if you want to come down on Monday the 12th. Melville Fire Department, Station 3. That's 274 Old Country Road, between 4:30 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. And they will do safety check on your car seat to make sure that you have an updated one that's safe for your infant. She's an expert at it, right? And that's it. And she'll be there. And then we have the same flyer in Spanish. For those of you who need it in Spanish, if you want a minute to read it, that's fine. And next meeting will be at the Precinct, March 5th, 10 a.m. Come on down if you're off during the day, and I'll have some a lot of nice, good, more new information for you, and you'll know what's going on in the community. Okay? 10 a.m. at the Precinct. Skip that, and that's some of our numbers if anyone needs them. And now there's some new people here, so I'll take questions. Does anybody have any questions? Oh, yes. Please don't give your personal information or maybe an address of what, maybe you could just use the street of where this, whatever the issue is. All right, we don't want this is live streamed. So we'd like to keep your identity, private. Yeah, if you have specific information that you'd like to, you want to tell me about, or you can go in the back and one of our officers will take this down. But if anyone has any kind of general questions that they feel they want to, go ahead, sir.
I had a couple of detectives come by my house on probably Monday, asking to look at a video footage.
Okay.
I guess in relation to some catalytic converter thefts.
Could be, yes. Where do you live in Elwood?
Road.
Elwood?
Earl Road.
Earl, okay.
Melville.
Yeah, Melville, okay. We've had a few, not that many, but it's spread out through, many towns in the county.
Have there been any that you're aware of in the triangle? Because I have a lot of cars, nice cars, and I'm just concerned that...
It's a hit or miss. I'll go 3 weeks, I won't see one. And then I'll like this week I saw 2. So it's, these guys travel around late at night, a couple guys in the car, and they got the saw with the battery right on it. They're underneath the car. They look for specific models because some are like Hondas, I think, are worth the cat is worth more than others. So it is spread out. It's not. I wouldn't say it's an epidemic. It used to be a lot worse. I'm not seeing as much of it. They're having a tough time fencing the catalytic converters. So.
I was just concerned because I thought it was a little odd. I mean, if they're on a lot around, why would you protect them in the neighborhood?
Yeah, sometimes we have a couple, like they'll do one and they'll do one a block away, and then there's nothing, and then they go on the other side of town in East Northport and hit a car. They kind of just move around, so it's hard to catch. I could tell you that, and so if we could get a break on a plate, maybe sometimes. Yeah, no. But we try. Trust me, we're trying. Anything we could get if we get any kind of break, even the making the color of the car sometimes would help. If the officers at night happen to be driving to a neighbor and they see that car, maybe they stop it and we get lucky. That's kind of how it works. Yes, sir.
I'm the president of the HOA at the Club of Melville.
Okay.
I'm Deshaun Drive, across the street from where the old Newsday plant was.
Okay.
I came to the precinct a couple of weeks ago. Couldn't get past the front desk.
Okay. What did you need?
We need your help because
most
nights on the property across the street, which now belongs to Hart's Mountain, they built 2 large warehouses. One has Amazon.
I heard. Yeah, I heard.
The other one's been vacant. We have ATV racing,
Wow.
car racing in the parking lot there.
Okay.
On our street almost every night.
And
Starts 9 o'clock, could go to midnight or later.
wow. Okay. Have you been called?
We're a 55 and over community.
Sure.
We're not up late. Nobody can sleep.
No, I understand. Have you been calling that in? Because I haven't really. I'm not familiar with that a couple times.
Residents have called.
Okay.
Takes a little while for you guys to come. It's not as urgent as some of the things you talked about before.
Yes.
It's very disturbing.
Okay. You know, it's a quality of life thing. I get it. We'll love to address it. But again, you know, I mean, I'm not there 24/7. I don't hear all these calls, but
That is
Jimmy,
one of
it's one of the ones we got?
for these car meets.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I was over there on Saturday, last Saturday. Actually took a few pictures on my phone. The county, our department is putting together a plan because
That's great.
it's within Nassau, Suffolk. They're coming out from Queens and the city, but we're addressing, and I know of that Dishon, that's one of the regular locations, as well as half a dozen other ones in Huntington. No, we are on top of it. We're trying to get something in play for the warmer months, taking these cars when we can.
Oh, yeah, it'll get worse.
so cars and ATVs too, you're saying?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
doing wheelies, and
Okay.
their garbage is all over the place.
He'll put it on the list.
One night there had to be about 20 cars.
Oh, the cars. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. We had a big meeting just last week at the academy. We're trying to put together a big plan countywide in order to address this. These are these street races, groups, and they do social media type of thing. We'll meet here. We'll meet here. We try to gather intel to beat them to it. But there's some issues trying to enforce it because they take off and, you know, they really don't want us chasing them because it's just not worth the risk of somebody innocent getting killed to chase these guys, and they'll take off, you know, at a excessive rate of speed. So if we're lucky enough to maybe corral them in, then we can deal with them. So it's just something we've been as a department, actually, we've been trying to put together a response plan. So it's not something that, you know, we're ignoring. We definitely want to do it. I heard the city's going to start really cracking down, so they're going to probably push them out this way, and we'll see. But we're going to try and discourage them from coming to Suffolk County. That's the plan.
According
Okay.
to our attorney,
Yeah.
it's a code enforcement. It's a violation, and the town should take some action.
Well, there are county laws that we can enforce, and the county was good enough, and the legislators know. They passed these laws so we can actually impound and confiscate these vehicles. So as long as they're doing what is written in the law, which is mostly the donuts and, you know, high rate of acceleration, and sometimes just the mufflers alone, then we're able to impound the car based on some of those violations. So that's the way you really hurt them, is by taking the cars, and they have to pay the fines and storage fees, and if they even get it back. So, but again, we have to be able to stop them. And there's an issue.
Anything that they have to do in order to make it harder for them to even get on the property? They're trespassing. Are they trespassing?
That's not a vacant warehouse? That's like somebody has a, we could ask them.
That part, that section of it right now is vacant.
Yeah.
It's been leased recently, but nobody's in
Oh.
there yet.
So they chained it off, it would help, maybe, something like that?
Yeah, but they don't.
So maybe if we could find out who the property owner is.
And possibly, they know that the police are swinging by and doing, you know.
Well, that's kind of what I was talking about. We try to gather intelligence to find out where they're going to be without giving everything away. So,
Property owners
yes.
Park
No.
Mountain Industries, they're in New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they don't like us. No.
Did you already call them and see if they can do something?
I won't call them. We have an adversarial relationship.
I don't know if the town would get involved with that, maybe trying to chain it off so they can't even
Well,
get
hopefully
access.
they will. Our attorney called the town's attorney. to try
The
and-
town would do it? All right, so maybe did you reach out to them, the town?
Figure if we tell enough people, like,
Okay, all right, yeah. All right, I'm not gonna be able to get chains and do that, but I mean, I think the town might be able to.
maybe we would get better cars ourselves and join them.
Oh, God, please. You know, I have a problem with it because they're dangerous. I've seen them on the parkway. They fly right by at 100 miles an hour. And they're going to kill somebody, and I think it happened in Queens already, so.
Also, late at night, they break on one down.
Yeah,
It's very quiet down at that end. It's not, you know, the doors are closed.
hmm
So when the weather gets nicer, they also break on one down.
Okay. Yeah, I could tell you they're in the 4th precinct a lot because they're having all kinds of problems over there. And I spoke with the inspector of the 4th precinct, and he's like an ex-highway guy, and he just loves the enforcement part of it. So He's really, he kind of ran that meeting the other day, and he's trying to put everything together. So trust me, it's not being ignored.
Last
Okay.
year, I was in the 4th precinct. We corralled about 200 of these motorists in a parking lot of BJ Wholesale. And the parking lot design is they couldn't get out because the curbs are too high. And we did a VTL traffic checkpoint for them exiting. Maybe we took a few hours, but we got about 170 summonses. And we impounded about 3 cars.
Nice.
You know, there's a lot of these locations where they meet up there, 24-hour locations like Amazon. They can't chain off the lot.
Yeah.
Because the trucks are in and out all night. And one of the things they are looking at is trying to use surveillance and getting the plate numbers of these cars that are involved in the behavior and notifying their insurance company who will drop them based upon behavior. They don't have to identify who's doing the driving the car, but who the old registered owner is. Right? That's one of the things they're looking at.
That's one way to hurt him. So. What do you got? Go ahead.
Second, I'd just like to say thank you to the 2nd Precinct, one on East 8th Street. What a great job you did there. I appreciate that.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
And the second part is CPS. Both of you are very familiar with it.
Mm-hmm.
All the troubles that we've had up there. I just want to say I appreciate all the officers that stop by and do what they could do. We're still having a lot of problems there. Sometimes in the morning, I don't have to tell some of the officers that are here. Sometimes we may have anywhere between 40 to 50 guys hanging out there. Between day laborers and just people that are doing nothing. That are there all day long. All I could do, I can stay on that phone 24/7. You know, I try not to be too much of a pain in the neck, but when it starts interfering with the quality of life, then I have to do what I have to do.
I understand.
You know?
Don't.
And I just want to say thank you very much for all the hard work that all of you have done.
I appreciate that, and don't hesitate to call because, you know, I know my guys know that we have an issue there, and unfortunately, I don't know if you know, but Sergeant Dolan retired, so I know that was his like special project. So I got to get a new sergeant who's going to take that up, you know, as a special interest to do that. But we'll come down, and whenever you see that problem, don't be afraid to call. You can call me direct, whatever. All right, it's fine.
Is the manager at CBS cooperating?
Yes, he is.
Okay, great.
I deal with him almost every day.
Okay, great.
I just have a quick question. The slide that you talked about earlier in regard to massage parlors and selling to minors and the vaping shops, you talked about how when you go into the shops, it's in response to community requests. What is the source from which you're getting most of those requests?
Where are they located, or
Are they coming through the community liaison officer? Are they coming through? Where are you hearing from the community?
Yeah, my plainclothes lieutenant he fields most of those complaints. So I just residents calling it in. They might even just call it right into the desk, and they'll probably forward the call back there because they're the ones who really deal with doing all that because they're plainclothes. So it's easy. But yeah, unfortunately he's not here tonight. But it will be next time I'll introduce him to you.
Yeah, I was just wondering if it was through any of it, like Crime Stoppers or.
It can be, yeah, it can be Crime Stoppers. It can be however anybody wants to report it. They can call the precinct. They can call, go through Crime Stoppers. I'm sure there's, I think one of those actually might have been a Crime Stoppers tip. So we get them a lot. June gives us tips. What else?
With the weather going to be changing soon, and you could drive on North or South Service Road, and you get these food vendors selling.
Food vendors, okay.
Yes, the dominant at Cormac Road and the South Service Road.
Okay, yeah, I know. All right.
Right at the tail end of the precinct.
Okay.
But
hot dog guy, or what does he sell them?
Fruits.
Fruits?
Oh. Fruit on the side of the road. We've contacted the county legislator.
Okay, really? Yeah. They'd probably have to have a permit to do that, so I'm sure we could chase them.
Store owners have to have it, but the street vendors
Yeah.
are getting away.
No, that's probably illegal, so we'll look into that. We can address that.
Yeah. And you see it. I've seen it on Pine Lawn and the South Service Road.
Pine Lawn also? Okay, yeah, no. There's a lot of food trucks, but most of them I thought had like a license to peddle wherever. Just, oh really? Okay. This is something new to me. Okay, I haven't really seen it myself. All right. Just call it in. Just call 911 and let us know that they're there, and we'll get them out of there because they're not allowed to do that.
I can actually
Okay.
share something on that. We used to own a food truck for a very
Okay.
brief time. 0 stars, do not recommend. But you had to go through like the county Department of Health and have like your vehicle, or definitely not a table. They wouldn't be okay with a
Right.
table.
Yeah.
Plus the permits are only given to veterans, and that's why the hot
Oh.
dog guy over by White Post Farms.
He's okay.
He's been there forever, 100 million years. He's a veteran. Yeah, so yeah, and that you have to be a veteran. That's like it. You can't get it unless you're a veteran.
No, I know, and trust me, they're not supposed to be selling, because most of them, unfortunately, can't communicate with me either.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would call 911 when you see them.
Yeah, just call.
Let them know. And
Yeah.
then you want to tell them also about the kids going door to door with the candy.
What are we talking about?
So you ever have kids coming door to door saying they're from like some boys and girls club with a coat trying to sell you candy? A lot of times they're being trafficked, and they're like, there was a whole sting a few years ago where one of the kids ended up, his grandmother was sending him to a camp in Queens, paying to send him to the camp, and then the camp was driving the kids out to Long Island
To sell
force
candy.
them to sell candy door to door, and then keeping the money, and there was no real organization. So if you see a person under the age of 18 alone knocking on your door, you cannot let them in and call the police, because they should not be walking the streets under 18 selling door to door.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure there's town regulations and county regulations to prohibit
but for
all
protection of
that.
the kids too.
Yeah.
Even if you're nice to them face to face, see them walk away, then call.
Yeah.
Just so that they get a welfare check.
Okay. All right. Good information. Do you have something?
I'd like to link my website to Second Precinct News. Twitter a good place to link to?
Jamie? Let me get back to you on that one, because what are you looking for? What kind of news? Like this?
I haven't seen those flyers.
Oh, the flyers. So you like to post that? You want to post those?
Somebody wants to look at the flyers.
Their Instagram is
Yeah.
what they do most.
Instagram.
Yeah,
Instagram
that's
is-
really- and theirs is at SCPD 2ND. Precinct.
Okay, so so for the plab, you want to link it? You want to kind of link it?
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not a big social media guy. Like all this tech stuff it's passed me by. But yes, Instagram, the girls do it, and they do a phenomenal job. They usually can keep it up to date. So if you can link on to the Second Precinct Instagram page, you'll get everything you saw here. Go ahead. Earl Drive.
Earl Road.
Earl Road. Okay. Close.
You'll never forget it. And
I will never forget it. Trust me.
But, stolen cars.
Yeah.
How many of them are key fob left in? Taken from? Do they track that?
80%. I would say 80%.
Do they document that in the report?
Yes, they do. That's how I know, because when I read them, I'm like, another one with the key in it. Yeah, it's frustrating for me.
Imagine with insurance,
Yeah.
right? That's
Yeah.
do a job on your coverage.
I'm sure it would, that's why I kind of try to get the message out, but I don't want to say, people.
We go by these numbers, but they don't always tell the whole story.
Yeah.
Let's say a couple is living together, married or not. Generally, the car's insured in her name because it's cheaper premium. She gets mad at him because he's disappeared. She tries to report the car stolen, or parents lend a kid, 18, 19 years old, the car. He doesn't come home for a night or two. That could be incorrectly reported stolen too. I've had them where someone got intoxicated the night before, forgot where they left the car.
Oh boy.
So we can only go by these numbers, but sometimes there's more to it.
Yeah. But there are reports.
Unauthorized use or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm just
it's
curious.
different.
I'm sure you track it, but.
I'd say 80% have the key fob left in it, or a key left in it, whatever. You know, if it's an older car. Yeah.
Big deal.
Yeah. Okay.
Just curious, just you talked about Earl Road and
Yes.
that walk around the other day was saying don't even by your front door because they have some kind of reader that can scan your key fobs.
I have heard of that. Yes. I don't know. You know, there's been a lot of speculation that so these guys are using it in parking lots of stores, and they'll be near where you are, and when you hit your remote, it clones it. I think. Yeah. Right. Yeah, I wouldn't leave it too close to the vehicle. I don't know. I don't have that knowledge. I don't know that, just because it's close to the vehicle. I know that if they see the mirrors folded in or out or whatever, some of the newer cars.
Specifically, there was some unit that they can walk up to your front door.
Oh, really?
Keys are right there.
And clone it?
They can get your information
Yeah.
to make your clone.
This actually happened.
You get this, box that's like a shielded key box.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
they'll keep it by your front door. So now I'm, obviously not.
I could check with our car theft unit, and I'll for next meeting, I'll see if there's something like that. I know there are tools that if they're close enough to you and you hit your thing, they can kind of get the signal. Wrap it in tinfoil.
I saw
Here we
this
go.
on Channel 12 News. There was a series of thefts, perhaps in Valley Stream, where they had that technology. And they said, don't leave it not only by the front door. Let's say if our bedrooms are on the street side, don't leave it by your front window. And they said keeping it in a metal box will prevent that hacking.
You can buy a Faraday box from Amazon.
Is that what it was called?
Yeah, and it blocks the signal. And if you have, they have little pocket ones too, where you put your key fob in. But I didn't like it because then I couldn't unlock my car very easily by just touching the handle. But yeah, this was happening a few years ago, and it takes two people. One of them wears a repeater. It's like a device that picks up the signal from the house. And then if the car is within a certain number of square feet of the house, like say, I don't know, I think it's like 150 feet from each other, then he'll turn and bounce it to the other guy who's near your car, and then it unlocks your car. But they can only go so far. But, they get in the car, but they can't, because of the technology with the car, you need the key, maybe
Shuts
they
it
can drive
down.
a certain
Yeah, it
distance
shuts it
and then
down.
Shuts it down, but
Yeah.
it's called, and we have one too, so yeah, same thing.
Great. All right. Anything else? Everybody good?
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
A ways back, you had a slide, there was a traffic stop that resulted in a gun getting confiscated.
Yes.
Could you, I don't know if you could share the details of that specific traffic stop. Was the gun in plain view? What was how did it come about that they were?
So the operator was unlicensed. He had 511 violations, which is aggravated unlicensed. And under that, we can impound the car, and the car was impounded. And during a search of the car, that's a normal procedure what we do, that's how the gun was discovered.
And what's a 511?
Aggravated unlicensed. After a certain amount of suspensions, your license is taken away, and there's different categories, misdemeanor, felony. So I don't know what the one was in that particular case, but when you have that, we can impound the vehicle. And when we impound it, we usually do an inventory search, and that's how the gun was discovered there. Well, thank you all for coming, and hopefully I'll see you at the next meeting. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.